Hey fellow rockers and monsters in the vinyl CD community. I'm J-Dub, and today I'm just going to be doing a kind of CD update. I think I got about 15 or something like that. So I'm trying not to get super over descriptive. I know last CD update I did, I was probably a little too defensive about some of the things I was buying and kind of over descriptive some of the things. So I'll kind of cut that down. But anyway, first up we got Black Dahlia Murder. Got a couple Black Dahlias here. Nightbringer's Never Black. Out of the two, I probably prefer Nightbringers, one of the newer ones, some of the newer stuff for Verminius and Nightbringers. But you know, some of the older Black Dahlias, classic essential too. So I think this is more of kind of a modern melodic death metal band. I know people try to clump them into the that's funny, the Heritage one, right? I know people try to clump them into the deathcore genre, and I think that's probably a little unwarranted. I think they are probably at this point more just a melodic death metal band, or modern death metal sort of thing. Next up, we do got an actual straight up death metal band, Grave. Grave's first full length album here, 1990, 1991 ish. And yeah, this is just classic, essential death metal from the era, early 90s. And I believe they're Swedish, I think. I'm kind of swinging that on my ass, I think so. But if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm sorry about that. I think they're Swedish. If not, yeah, some of these times, some of these videos I do, sometimes I wish I could have like a do-over or tell you all the times I was wrong. Like I know specifically I did that I think I did a vinyl update and I was saying that Ronald Keel was from Alcatraz. I was like, no, he's not Alcatraz, it's Steeler. I was getting my Yngwie Malmsteen projects messed up, right? Because Yngwie was in Steeler and he was in Alcatraz. So I was getting my things flipped up, even though it was Ronald Keel was the singer. I was talking about Keel was in the previous band Alcatraz. I was like, oh no, you idiot, he was in Steeler. So I just drew a blank. So I was like, I wish I could talk about all these times I was wrong on the video. You know, no one's perfect, big deal. I'm not going to re-record a whole video just because I messed up a few things. That's, you know, I'm not going to re-record a video. I'm not an actor, you know, I'm not going to reenact the whole video over again. That's just stupid. So if I'm wrong on some things, I'm wrong. So Grave, I think they're Swedish. Anyway, move on from that. It's funny, the sun is just, I'm doing actually the video early in the morning here. It's only 10 a.m., but the sun is just shining. I have windows right here, and it was in my eyes. So I'm like, what do I either record the video with sunglasses on and be a douche with sunglasses, or just? So I actually put up a poster to try to hide the sunlight here. So if you see, I'm right there. The sunlight's in my eyes, so I had to put up a poster just blocking the sun. So as the sun moves, it might get in my eye. Hopefully not here. And next up, we got an old school hardcore band, Strike, Witness a Rebirth. Although this was a newer release. They came back they unearthed from, you know, they've had a hiatus for 10 years sort of thing, and or about 15 years, and they came back and re-released this banger of an album, Witness a Rebirth. I think it's 2014. I'm trying to look on the back of the year. I think it was 2014. It doesn't say anywhere on here. It's kind of too bad, but I think it's around 2015 or something like that. But I think Strike went away in 96, 98, and then they came back, put out this banger of an album. Not people are going to probably agree with this, but we got Art of Anarchy, and what this is the former Creed frontman. His name's Scott Stapp. So Scott Stapp is a hated man, I suppose, but I always thought he had a great voice if they could match, you know, some up-tempo music. So some of the Guns N' Roses guys got kicked out of Guns N' Roses, you know, Buckethead and some of those other guys, some of the other guys that Axl was using, you know, in that off era of Guns N' Roses, right? Some of those also, they got kicked out of GNR, and they asked Scott Stapp to sing this album, to sing for him on this album. And man, Scott sounds great. He does sound great on this album. I'm telling you. So this is a cool rock album, hard rock album, not metal, but there's some metal guitar solos, obviously. But actually says on the back here, yeah, it was Bumblefoot. Sorry, it's Bumblefoot, the guy from the bassist from Disturbed. But Scott sounds great on this. I know people are gonna like just cringe when I mention Scott Stapp. I'm telling you, he sounds great. His voice does sound good. And next up, we got another guy with a great voice, Soil. Soil. Oh, I'm just gonna read the hype sticker here. I didn't put the hype sticker on. This came used from Germany, and the hype sticker was on the on there. I probably would have stuck the hype sticker on the back probably, but looks good there anyway. But it kind of can zoom in, but Soil Hole, Ryan McCombs. So yeah, Ryan McCombs is he has a great voice. I love his voice. I don't know. I guess some people would lump this in with new metal, although I think it's kind of just a alternative metal, I guess you'd call it, a hard and heavy album sort of thing. But yeah, I love Ryan McCombs' voice. So I realized I didn't have this, and great album. Yeah, great album. Stuff I can play at work. I just kind of, sing along. He's got a nice, good voice. Totally switching up here. We got the Rotting Christ, a kind of melodic blackened band. They're not fully black metal at all. They're kind of a mix of black and death metal, but they have a lot of atmospheric and experimental kind of stuff. So Rotting Christ, Die Mighty Contract, I believe it's 94. I think it came out in 94. It says 97 on the back, but I think it's when it got reissued, so I do think it's 94. Again, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I think it's 94 though. And now we're going way back here a bit to the 80s. We got Lizzie Borden's Visual Lies from 87. And I believe this is Lizzie's third full-length album. And yeah, the first three Lizzies they were on fire until they put out the stinker Master of Disguise. I'm telling you right now, I do not like Master of Disguise. I go through that album, I'm thinking 3/4 of the album is a ballad, a rock opera ballad. Bad. You will never see Lizzie Borden, Master of Disguise on my video updates. Never. I will never buy it. I think it's terrible. Sure, there is a couple good songs, but 2 good songs isn't going to make me call an album great. No, it's bad. It's a stinker. If you think that album's good, let me know. I think it's bad. Master of Disguise, I'll never buy it. And unfortunately, kind of another bad project is, so this Warrior from Vinnie Vincent popped up. These Warrior tapes got unearthed after he joined Kiss, and this was the band that he was going to be in before Kiss. And good thing he joined Kiss, because this is not very good stuff. I haven't even really listened to it. I skimmed through a bunch of the songs to see if I could get into it, and a lot of this stuff, these songs aren't very good. This project was not very good. I don't know. If you liked it, Vinnie Vincent's Invasion was better when he came out, when we left Kiss, and then he did do the Invasion project, but this is prior to Kiss, and yeah, I don't think this is very good. It's not very good stuff. So good thing I did buy it for $5 or $6, so I'm not like too upset about it, but I basically got it because it said Vinnie Vincent on it, and I'm like, okay, cool, I've heard of it, let's buy it. It's not very good. Next up, we got an Epica, and I really love my Epica. I'm not a huge symphonic. Oh, the glare is really bad here with the sun, but anyway, yeah, Epica's Quantum Enigma, and what's weird is I never actually heard this before. I heard every Epica, but somehow this one kind of just slipped underneath my basically I just got confused because they have really, really out there album titles, and I thought I had heard it, but then when they'd show up and I checked my computer, I'm like, oh wait, I never even had this before, so I gotta actually rip this to my computer, as this would be the first time I've ever actually listening to it. So I ripped it to my computer, gave it a listen, and it's not my favorite Epica, although I do like Epica. And I even cut myself off again, I think, when I was saying, I'm not a huge symphonic metal guy, but something about Epica does kind of strike a chord with me. It does hit me because Mark Jansen does have those killer backing death metal vocals with her opera vocals. So they switch off and back and forth. Well, she'll be doing opera, a verse, and then maybe he'll come in with some death metal chorus underneath. So you know, and Mark Jansen, I do think is kind of the originator of all this kind of modern symphonic stuff, where you have all those symphonic fans doing basically all the same thing. But I think Mark Jansen with his first band, After Forever, I think when he did his After Forever project, I think going back to the late 90s, I think he's kind of the originator to start that whole melodic, that whole modern symphonic thing. Although symphonic was doing it before, obviously, Goodman Borger and things like that. But I think when it turned modernized, all these bands started sounding the same with that symphonic thing. I think he was the one that started it. So if he was the one that started all this, he is the authentic one, and that's the guy I'm going to follow. And I still think, you know, Mark Jansen is right now to this day is probably one of the best musical composers in the business, in metal music. Like, he composes all the symphonics, all the guitars, everything, right? He creates everything. So Mark Jansen is one of the better composers in the game right now, for sure, in my opinion. And we got a gap filler here. I'm trying to complete my In Flames whole collection here. So I just need Come Clarity, and then I got every In Flames. So I actually didn't even listen to this before the update. I've had it in my play pile for a while, and I just didn't really, you know, I try to follow my heart with what my soul in my play piles. Like, okay, what do I feel like playing? So if I don't feel like playing it, I'm not going to play it. But, you know, it's just In Flames at this point. You know what you're getting yourself into with In Flames. Don't see this one very often. I'm not really sure why, but we've got Voivod Angel Rat. Oh man, the glare is terrible. So I'm gonna take this out of the case to see if I can cut the glare down. Anyway, Angel Rat here. Shows a little bit better. We got Angel Rat from 1991, and I know a lot of people do prefer the older, more aggressive Voivod when they were a little more crazy. So they toned it down here on Angel Rat. It's much more melodic, you know, progressive stuff, very progressive. And it's kind of weird. It's basically not even metal. It's like progressive hard rock at this point. But I like to really wind down. I found myself winding down to this one night before I owned it, just like digital sort of thing. And I was like, man, I'm really into this right now. and then I started obsessing about it. And then the next couple days later, I bought it. So it was one of those things I was just like vibing out, chilling out to it one night. And I was like, fuck. And then I started obsessing about owning it. So then I was like, I had to buy it. So there we are with that. And I want to get Outer Limits. I think those two, Outer Limits and Angel Rat, 91, 93, that was a really cool kind of experimental, progressive hard rock they were doing. Stuff you can really kind of wind down at the end of the night, maybe put it on and chill out to. I'm a big fan of this band. We got Lordy, The Monster American Dream. This was their second album, 2004. So we're going back to 2004 already. So Lordy's been around for 20 years, pretty much here. So Lordy's been cutting his chops here in the scene for a while here, and yeah, I dig my Lordy. I know. Actually, they get very uncomparison to Gore, because Gore does the similar kind of Monster Man outfits and things like that. But I don't even compare the two at all, because Gore is more of like goofy punk rock songs where they're like 2-3 minute punk rock goof songs. Lordy's an actual composer, much like Mark Jansen, where he composes these big, you know, there's symphonics behind it, the band. So I think Lordy's much more talented than the Gore guys. I know cringe me if you're a Gore fan, but Gore is like our goofy stuff, and Lordy is goofy too, but I think composition-wise, he takes his music much more serious than the War guys do. So I think that's very unfair comparisons. But yeah, great stuff. Lordy, I own a ton of Lordys. I own a lot of Lordys. I own pretty much every Lordy except for one or two. And next up, we got some badass D. Snyder project here. Widowmaker, Stand by the Pain. Widowmaker only put out 2 albums. This one. Widowmaker, what's the other one? Blood and Bullets, and then Stand By for the Pain. So I own almost every D. Snyder solo project and Twisted Sister. So I just have a huge fucking D Snyder collection, and I didn't have this one, so one step closer to completing pretty much every project that D Snyder has recorded in his life. I just need one of the D Snyder solo from 2008 to 2009, something like that. It's not that great, so I was really too keen on getting it. And I'm just kind of flipping through the book to see the lineup on this Widowmaker here. And the lineup on this was Joe Franco on drums, Al Petrelli on guitar, obviously, and then we got Mark Russell on bass. Not sure if that's the same lineup they had for Blood and Bullets. I think so. They probably recorded them probably back to back at that point from like, I think 94 and 96 or 96, 94 and 98. It says it's 98 here, but I thought it was 96. Could be wrong. I don't know. But I do prefer Blood and Bullets. Blood and Bullets is better, but just for the sake of keeping my D Snyder collection going, I had to get this. Had to. Although that is a pretty good, pretty good jamming album. And next up, I realized the new Korn album was coming. This isn't the new Korn album, but I realized the new Korn album was coming out in a couple of weeks, and I didn't even have the previous new Korn album, The Nothing. So I'm a huge Korn fan. I own every Korn album. So I realized I don't even own the older one, and the new one's coming out. So I better get The Nothing before the new one comes out, or else I'll be really behind. So I had to get Korn The Nothing, and yeah, it's a pretty good album. I'm sure anyone that's watching, you either like Korn or you don't. It is one of those things. Next up, we got Scanner here, an old school Scanner here, Terminal Earth. I believe this just squeezed into the 80s. I think it's 89. Mine's a reissue, obviously, so it doesn't show on the back. It did get reissued on Master 2016. That's what I got here. But, oh, it does actually say on the back here. It was 89. Yeah, it's 89. And yeah, good old Scanner. We got some high pitched kind of vocal. He's not like falsetto high pitched, but you know, it's kind of high pitchy, speed metals. What's going on here? Yeah, I think people do kind of classify it as speed metal with some kind of melodic choruses and things like that. It's gonna sound sacrilege, but I know this is a great album and all, but I actually much prefer. Really become fond of Scanner's Mental Reservation from '94. I think that's right. And then my Scanner is right there somewhere, but I think I actually prefer Mental Reservation from '94 just slightly. I know people are going to call me crazy on that one, but I wanted to buy this for a while, and I just realized, hey, for $5, $6, I might as well just get it at this point. I've been wanting it for a couple of years, but we got Queen Innuendo from 1991, and this album is supremely overlooked. I know a lot of people dig into maybe early Queen, or maybe don't even like Queen at all, but or maybe some of the earlier stuff when they had some hits, but I'm telling you, this album is very hard rock. It's a very rocking, very overlooked, underrated Queen album, and that's why I wanted it, because I do think it is very overlooked. And yeah, dig some Queen from time to time. Innuendo '91, and check it out. Revisit that. That's not a stinker. That was actually a very hard rocking album, and he's got some great solos all over that album. I actually haven't made any listen to it because I got it. Didn't really feel like it. But then last up, we got Code Orange's Forever, and Code Orange is like a modern kind of I don't know, chaotic hardcore band sort of thing. I don't even know how to describe them because they are very weird. They're not just straight hardcore. They're not just straight metalcore. They're not just really. They're kind of like touching into their own genre, because one song might be hardcore, the next song might be metalcore, the next song might be chaotic, experimental madness. So it's very chaotic. I'd almost put them in maybe almost like a Slipknot genre, where Slipknot is very chaotic from time to time. They're just all over the place. So Code Orange is one of those bands. They're just all over the place. They do what the hell they want. They don't fit into a box. They just madness, complete madness, chaotic madness. And looking at the picture on the back here. They got here's funny. There's a female guitarist. She's pretty cool. And got this tough guy there trying to look cool. So young killer band. And it's funny. I was talking about this band with a buddy, and I was like, hey, I'm gonna see if I can poke around and find some of their stuff cheap. And luckily enough, one of the local Canadian sellers had just listed this for $8, and I was like, yeah, cool. I'll get some photos for $8. That's the reason I kind of started that little search for it. And I was just kind of about to say goodbye, and I realized I'm playing some music in the background. I don't know how well you can hear it with my audio. I have no idea nowadays. But we got Chrome Molly Angst right up here, 1983. I think they were Canadian then, or either Canadian or German, one of the two. Yeah, either Canadian or German. I think it's 1983. So we got that good early wave of hard rock, heavy metal stuff going on there. And yeah, thanks for watching. Subscribe, Mosh. See you later.